He brought a tengkorak, a real one, and he put it in the cabinet in the lounge. And I remember we all said, "Ui, macam malam tu kita orang tak boleh tidur because teringat terbayang-bayangkan the tengkorak inside there." Nama saya Ungku Syamsun Naha binti Ungku Omar, dan saya anak kepada Profesor Datuk Dr Ungku Omar Ahmad. My father married an Indonesian princess from Tanjung Balai Asahan, Sumatera, Tengku Khatijah binti Tengku Sulaiman. My father ni orang kata dia very stylish man. Dia pakai baju semua rapi. Kalau dia main golf, dia pakai topi. Tetapi it is my mother yang dress him. Every morning my mother lay out his shirt, his tie, his belt, his socks, underwear, shoes, everything. The thing about my father, he's very strict. Number 1, education. Number 2, manners. Kalau kita rude ke, kurang ajar ke apa, that is the end. Kalau dia pergi majlis, kita orang semua pasang TV. Bila dia balik, kita oh daddy dah balik. So kita padam TV, terlari masuk bilik nak pretending to sleep. What we didn't know, my mother selalu cerita, my father kan bukan, he is a clever man kan. Dia pergi pegang the back of the TV, panas tak? Not only did I learn from my father, tapi from my father's aunties and all. They told me my dad masa kecil, dia suka baca buku. He liked to read. And he's fascinated about many things. My father punya experiences as a child, he did hidup susah, but he was always he told us that he's very ambitious. He always used to say this to us. He said, if I go begging, if I have to go begging, I will beg, but all my children must finish their education ke tahap mana yang dia boleh. Preferably university, dia kata. You know, in spite of the fact that he was a very clever man, he was, considered a genius because dia double promotion twice. Lepas tu dia masuk medical faculty dekat University Malaya Singapore, second year terus. He skipped first year, So that already proves that he's very clever. But he didn't want us to be geniuses, couple. He wanted us to live a good life, to be happy, and to be happy in what we want to do. My father punya concerns always was about that nutrition and health, especially for the rural people, was very important. Kalau tak ada kesihatan dan tak ada nutrition dan tak ada good food, dia tidak akan jadi a healthy mind is a healthy body, dan kita tidak akan maju. I would say the most memorable or an incident I can never forget is my father's death. So when he was exercising that particular day on the 15th of February, and then we heard screaming, my mother screaming. That particular scream was a different type of scream. Then we knew. We ran, we came, and we saw my dad lying on the floor. And then Dr. Hadam arrived, and I think he more or less pronounced him dead. That was a very sad moment for my mom, because my mom loved my dad very much. And she had even a polyp in her nose because she cried for 1 year. She cried. Every day she cried. Sampai she had to get radiation treatment on this polyp in her nose. And that affected her in later life. I had never seen his friends cry. People like Dr. Rajakumar, Dr. Agus Salim. I remember that Uncle Rajakumar was crying in the veranda in my room. And the first time I seen men cry was when my dad died. When my father died in 1969, Ch. Jawahir was the one who put up the plan to name the polytechnic after my father.
Menurut sejarah, nama Politeknik Ungku Omar dicadangkan oleh Allahyarham Tan Sri Jamri bin Hj yang pada ketika itu merupakan Menteri Pelajaran Malaysia. Dinamakan sempena nama Allahyarham Profesor Datuk Ungku Omar Ahmad untuk menghargai jasa dan sumbangan beliau terhadap bangsa dan negara, terutamanya dalam bidang penyelidikan perubatan.
How did we feel like? Well, at that time, I think when we first heard about it, we said, okay, that's good. And we didn't really know much about polytechnics at that time. But, you know, and we did attend the opening, and I remember the 10th anniversary where Sultan Azlan was there.
Perjuangan dan pengorbanan Ungku Omar wajib dicontohi.
And that was the first time in 1979 that we actually visited Polytechnic Ungku Omar. And polytechnic students are normally, or even skills training, they're easier to get a job. And then through the years, the Polytechnic Ungku Omar has built up such a reputation as being the foremost, the first polytechnic.
Setelah 53 tahun Politeknik Ungku Omar beroperasi, Politeknik Ungku Omar telah melahirkan lebih daripada 72,000 graduan dalam bidang kejuruteraan dan juga perdagangan yang telah memasuki pasaran pekerjaan sama ada di dalam negara ataupun di luar negara.
As a polytechnic, you are very strong. And I hope you remain number one forever. Because being that you have actually the association named after my dad has made the family very proud.
Kami, warga Politeknik Ungku Omar, sentiasa menjaga hubungan baik dengan waris dan juga keluarga Allahyarham Profesor Datuk Ungku Omar bin Ahmad kerana nama ini merupakan simbol kekuatan kepada warga Politeknik Ungku Omar untuk terus berjaya dan mencipta kecemerlangan di masa hadapan.
The Polytechnic is a personification of the man that my dad was. And I feel that the students should know about him. You must know your history. You must know the latar belakang. And how did this happen that your Polytechnic was named after this great man that was my dad. And then through later years, you know, like for me and my sisters, and then we are busy with our jobs, etc. and all that. And later on in life, I started getting into the education line. Yeah, and I did a school which is more of skills training school. And then also through the years, I realized that polytechnics are it is also, through the polytechnic line, you can actually, after you've done your diploma, and then you get exemption, and then you can get another year or two, and then you get a degree. Betul tak? Yes. And then also, the German polytechnics were very famous. And you are, or normally polytechnics, you work as you study. Not the academic line is different. Academic line is academic, but you don't go to do internship, etc. But times are changing. And you find the polytechnic students, if you talk about engineering, for instance, you ask a polytechnic student to build design a car, build an engine, design a car, and you compare it to an engineer is going through a degree program, and you ask him to design and do the same thing, right? You'll find that most 90% of the time, the polytechnic student will build an engine that works, whereas the other one will do more. Mainly, he's basing on theory and not on practical. Because this is polytechnic are hands-on, whereas that one is mainly theory. So sometimes theories don't work. No, the practice is the one that works. On a further interaction with the polytechnic, I found out that you need a minimum of 5 A's to get into the polytechnic. So it's not macam calang-calang. And I find that the polytechnic students, they were quite good in the English language. I was surprised they had a very strong English language thing that was under Dr. Izwah dulu. It was very good. I was very impressed, And even the buildings. But the polytechnic has got a aura, has got a charisma, like old buildings, and the Perak as well. And I've realized as well through my interaction with Ungku Polytechnic is that Perak has always been the hub of education. One thing I say about my dad, he taught me that you've always got to be humble. And people from any walk of life doesn't mean that he's from the kampung, that he is a Tan Sri or he is a kerabat. All people you must treat with respect. That's one thing my father taught me, taught all of us, to be honest, to be sincere, and to really be kind to people. Kalau dia jumpa orang kan yang tak ada duit kan, he will give ini money in his pocket. Kalau dia RM10, dia kasih RM10. That's why he always got no money on him. You always have to ask my mother for money. That is my dad. And there was one story, dia cerita, he used to walk on the beach dekat Johor Bahru. There's got the Lido Beach. And then it was time of the Japanese occupation. Lepas tu dia jumpa tengkorak. And then dia bawa balik and he kaji it. And he put it in the cabinet in the lounge. And I remember we all said, "Ui, macam malam tu kita orang tak boleh tidur." Because teringat, terbayang-bayangkan the tengkorak inside there. So I think that is already started his love for bidang perubatan.